Well, welcome back to the channel. Make sure if you're following along, you like and subscribe all of them. Really appreciate it. But we're back in the chopper, taking the head off. We got to start preparing for corn. Well, I figure we might as well fix this while we're here. Hopefully that looks the same. I think so, yeah. Called Dorman. They hooked me up. They actually sent me it out. It got here when we were doing grass, but this was still working. So this is a squeeze tube for a chemical pump. So plumb that right into it, just to keep going in between. So what happened, I broke that little end off. Tried gluing it a bunch. Got sick and tired of that. So what this does is it's a applicator as far as putting inoculant into the feed as it comes through. And what that is live bugs that help break down the feed, use up the oxygen, so the feed ferments faster, getting a better quality of feed. So fill this up. It's mostly water when it's full, like 99% water. And then you put some of the inoculant in, which I'll show you more when we do corn, because we run through quite a bit. So yeah, but this had broke off, put a new line on there. I'm gonna have to run new line going back, so that goes in to where the blower chute comes up, sprays in the side of it, and gets mixed in. So it's all on control in the chopper, on off, and then the rate of speed. But there's a little indicator there that you may or may not have seen before. But yeah, this is all blown off. I'm gonna get this out of the way, go get the corn head, the Kemper corn head, and start figuring out. The hookups are a little bit different up top, bottom are the same. I think these are narrower than a newer head because everything else is wider on the new heads. So but gives you an inside look of what's going on. So my backup one is still doing good. Do see there's a few little cracks in some places. This I keep welding, and I see there's a little crack right there. Still got this to finish up. Yeah, tire slowly sinking. Looks good though. It looks like a tractor. Well, gotta get these heads out of the way. By the way, there's a 25-foot, and I'll remember the number at some point, or a 20-foot silo unloading here for a bottom unload for a harvester with 2 sets of chains. Well, the upper and the lower chain that are about perfect, if not perfect. I should remember the name. It's an AG 74 20 footer. If anybody is interested in it. I've had a few people ask me. I got it up on Facebook Marketplace for $3 grand. I figure the chains are where the money's at, but I'm open to an offer. So, but here we go. Here's the head we picked up. Well, I picked up this spring. Well, winter, I guess. So we got to get that out of here. So we'll move that out of the way. We'll move the backup hay head that needs some love, and we'll come in and pick this up and move it out. And then the only real thing is these up here. I believe these got to get narrowed up to fit. I believe the bottom is correct, or just got to get it flipped around there. But I think these sit out too wide to hook to that head. I think I did some measurement and I can't remember, but I know they can put these on there. And then we got to go through it and see what's going on, so, or what needs to be done. The birds have been nasty over here. Oh, got to get the blade on too. Got my floater tires that got to go on at some point. Got the old head. There's everything here. So I'm gonna come pick it up with the forks, I think. Slide right underneath, pick that up and bring it out, I think. I'm not sure. We'll see. Got the head here. I'm just gonna go set it over there and see what we gotta do. It's a little heavy, a little awkward by yourself as far as getting through things without smashing everything. But it is gonna be so much nicer. Well, based on measuring this will actually line up. It's these that won't. So that's 32 inches. We're at like 35. I figure if I flip these over, then we'll be in a good boat. Just flip the bracket around. So we'll give that a go. So we'll get this one on. Notice that's a wicked leak there. So lift cylinder, the seals are going out. So I'll have to order some seal kits for them. We'll have to get those in. That'll be fun. Going on here is sitting on it almost. They're lined up, but I think because of how the head was angled down forward too much, it won't let it slip past. It's holding it on the bottom, so we got to be careful. So what we'll do is pick it up, and I'll set that big piece of wood underneath it. I'll set it back down, see if it will pivot back enough to let me in. So it sat down on it. That down in there. I can't really see. So where that white yellow piece is, that's sitting nicely in it. It looks real tight. So now you can see how it hooks up. So there's a little latch piece that you put on that goes to there. Underneath that's good. This looks awesome. Gotta do some work to it. We'll run through that. I gotta find the other end. I think the one on the corn head out back is the same other end for this. I only had the end that was on here. Well, that one is not on a threaded shaft, or it's not a 540. So they don't line up. Yeah. Well, that's not good. Might have to spend some money now. I'm gonna have to spend some money anyways, but hey, Hank goes over here trying to eat stuff. What are you doing? So I gotta find the other end of that one, see if that stuff lines up. I don't think it does. I really don't. Well, found this one. I'm not sure if this is off that head or if it's off the head I got there. I can't remember nowadays, but we'll slide under and see. We're definitely gonna have to do something with that seal. Well, they do slide together, so that's a plus. They definitely don't have enough length, so we can cut this one down to the right size. Problem is, well, that pin can come out. Somebody definitely cut this one off weird. I'd rather have more of this long shaft sticking out. I guess we could always cut that back off and put a new one on if need be, but let's see what we need it, how far we need to cut it down. I just want to get it going and see. Should have brought a tape measure. Well, what I did was made a little knot mark there when it was all the way out so that it could still slip on. Slid it all back together. Do this with one hand. So we're still gonna have all of it inside here. Very little gap in between. But that's fine. So we'll pop this one off and we'll go cut that little notch. So all that holds these on, get your little brackets here, or clamps or whatnot. Hopefully the threads on the other side aren't messed up. The bolts that I took out were interesting. Nope, they're good. So one on each side. I got the legs up. So we'll get this on, and then we just got to work on figuring out how we're going to plumb the hydraulics, because I took off the line to run the dump wagon, but I could put a jumper line with another selector switch or something. I got plenty of parts off the other chopper. So, and then from there we'll make sure it runs. We got to check the gearboxes. I got to find the seals for this, and then figure out what I need for bent stuff up in the front. Well, slipped it past it. Just had to get the right angle. There we go. So, yeah, that couldn't be any longer on this side because it hits when it comes through. So, the only thing I don't really like is that it's not perfectly straight. But there's U-joints in there for a reason. I wish it was perfectly straight. I guess we can't win them all. Well, it goes in reverse. Well, I got a few things ticking. I think they're bolts that are too long that are tapping on stuff, but we'll see that. This one was giving me a little bit of a trouble. Let those finish up before we get into that. They all spun. This one bound up a few times, made a ticking sound. Everything looks good, and then you look at that one, that's the issue. So you can see it's bent down. So we'll spin this backwards. We'll straighten that one out. This wobbles a little bit, but I think it's gonna wobble. I don't really know what I'm looking at, but I can tell that something's spinning and tapping, and I don't know what. It's gonna be tight enough that one of these bolts or something is hitting, or this scraper piece. So we'll mess with it and see. Got the bent one. I don't know where my big adjustable is. It's a lot straighter. It ain't perfect, but hit something. It's happy. Only thing I don't like is how much that is shaking. That looks to go right to the gearbox. I'm not sure. I guess I gotta look at that some more. But the clicking doesn't happen. It only happens when it's idling down, so it's gonna be tapping something as it goes by. This drum's all good now. I don't see anything else bent. Well, found my issue. There's no bolt right there. And this one up here, well, you can see it's halfway out. So I guess I'll pull this one out. We'll have to go find a bolt for it. Figured it out. So I went to tighten that bolt up. Figured I'd check, but as you see, it's sticking out. So it broke a bolt off there. So we got to get that out of there. I don't want to take the whole thing off. So we'll take the skid plate off, see if we can grab onto that and get that out. That's full of junk. Wonder when the last time anybody took anything out of that. So I don't know if I can. We'll see if we can clean it up. Probably gonna leave that one off. We'll take that one off because we're gonna check all the oil. So we'll probably take that one off too. I don't know where the drains are. We'll probably drain everything and fill it all back up. So yeah, that's why it was shaking. Only 2 bolts actually in. There we go. So we'll get another one of these. Then we'll check all the oil and everything. Got both skid plates off. Got the broken bolt out. I guess next step, which is gonna be tomorrow, first we're gonna get the broken bolt. We're gonna get 2 of those, put them in. Then we're gonna drain the oil out of everything, put new oil in. We're gonna have to take these covers off and just see if anything's still in there as far as running those side panels. Then I gotta figure out exactly what I can keep. If I gotta raise that up, I'd really like not to buy any dividers. They're about $130 a piece. Skid plates are good. I'm hoping the knives are good. Based on what I've seen, they got wear to them, but for the 100 and something acres I'm gonna chop, we're gonna be okay. So 160 by the time we're all said and done. So here we are.